welcome back to the 90th minute. We are your hosts. We got Greg, Lucas, myself, Liam. Co-host Waz is not here today, but that is all right. If you are new to the 90th minute, make sure you are subscribed on YouTube. Follow us along on Instagram, TikTok. Links are in the description for all of our social medias.
And also podcast apps.
And podcast apps. Spotify, Apple, Google,
all of them.
Anchor.
Except SoundCloud.
No SoundCloud. We're not SoundCloud rappers. Not yet. Not like Håland.
We're getting there.
If you are subscribed, you are a part of the 1,000 subscribers we have hit. We greatly, greatly appreciate that support. It's a huge milestone for us. I think we can all say we never really expected to hit that.
Yeah, especially like in early October when we had like only 50.
6 months ago, 60? We had 50.
Which we appreciated all those people watching. Like one person watching was incredible.
Yeah, we're just four guys sitting in Luke's basement talking about the game we love. And you know what? We appreciate your support. We hope you enjoy what we're putting out.
And also the serious and non-serious discussions we have sometimes. As I know we say some random and weird stuff from all the time.
All the time. But yeah, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you like the video. Comment down below. Give us your thoughts. You'll get involved in the conversation we have today and all of our podcasts. And like I said, Instagram, we're on that. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. TikTok's our big one. We got 15,000 on that one as well.
And we hope you enjoy our future content as we hope to post more.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of plans. Hoping
as the summer goes in, we'll have more time and we'll have more episodes. Like
Euros will be exciting for
100%.
us.
But let's kick off this week in football. There's quite a lot. As you can see, the table is well and truly full. We're kicking off in the Premier League.
Where else?
We're kicking off with Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspur. Two very good clubs. I mean, they've been a bit off on this season.
No, we won't go super in-depth in these matches because these matches... We're recording a day late, so...
Yes, it is
Monday.
We
apologize.
But there's definitely a lot of talking points from these weekend matches that are worth discussing.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about, like Luke said, the talking points, the big headlines, rather than going depth throughout the game. So, Chelsea end up winning this one 2-1. Goals from Olivier Giroud, and the second one was Marcos Alonso.
Yeah.
Both goals I thought were decent enough goals. Spurs, their goal came through a deflection with Eric Lamela. But the big talking point, I think, for this one, well, there's a few.
The big stamp.
First one is the stamp, Lo Celso.
They admitted that they got it wrong later.
Yeah, probably should have been a straight red.
It's a red card.
Like commentators said, should be a red. Fans in the stadium thought it should be in a red.
Well, like fans probably didn't know.
Well, no, but fans, I have an inside Snapchat because our goalie from our team was at this game actually, and you could see the fans going, "That's a red." So it's a red.
Fair enough.
But
straight red.
Yeah, VAR.
But it wasn't, of course.
VAR reviewed it and they said nope, there was no serious foul. So I don't know what they were looking at. I got to be honest.
The funny thing is, though, Celso did on a few occasions after that get fouls that probably should have been yellows already. Yeah. And like,
so if it even was a yellow, like he would have been gone, like, right?
Probably.
Yeah, but like he also like got a yellow card later, and I think he complained to the referee.
Giovanni, you're lucky to be on the field at this point.
Yeah.
But that's a huge talking point. VAR comes up a few times this week. But I want to talk about maybe a bit of a passing of the guard. Jose Mourinho losing at Stamford Bridge and Frank Lampard winning. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's shocking that Chelsea won at home for once.
A little bit. What do you think about Mourinho's stature as a manager?
Well, obviously, it hasn't been the same since he left Chelsea, and like even though his time at Manchester United, there's some good parts like the Europa League win,
winning the Europa League,
and also
the
time they finished second, which Mourinho said countless times was the biggest achievement of his career.
Mm-hmm.
And if City's titles ever get taken away, he technically has a league title. In Manchester.
No,
but he hasn't been the same manager. I think. People are expecting a bit too much right now from him at Spurs.
That's what I wanted to say. I don't think Spurs' lineup is anywhere near strong enough to challenge for top four.
I mean, especially with key injuries to your two best players.
Yes,
right
100%.
now.
Yeah, Son is out for the season.
Kane is out for who knows how long. They sold Eriksen, but
they don't have a striker. Maybe Troy Parrott's a striker, but
I like Troy Parrott, but he's too young at the moment.
Like, are you gonna really trust? That young of a player to start every single match?
Especially
Probably not.
because Spurs this season are still within a hunt for European place. I mean, with all the City drama, fifth place is a European place. Yes, they won the Champions League, they won top four, but they might settle right now for a 5th spot.
Well,
right?
is it 100% confirmed? I don't know if it's
If Chelsea?
of the Champions League.
If City are banned, then 5th place would be Champions League.
Yeah,
So we'll see what happens there.
Because there could always be a case where like, oh, the ban's overturned later and you think you have Champions League, but then you don't.
We haven't heard the end of the City ban. This will be a year-long saga.
I mean, they got a lawyer who prevented Brexit twice or something like that.
They literally had like 60 lawyers walking into that courtroom. It was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
But no. Spurs are going to want European football, Champions League preferably. Chelsea, they've been a bit hot or cold this season. What do you think about them? Are they able to find some consistent form this year?
This was one of their best performances in a while.
You're going to say why?
Olivier
they actually
Giroud.
had a center forward.
They have Tammy Abraham.
Olivier Giroud can take a goal.
Are you driving away from the Tammy hype train?
Was I ever on the Tammy hype train?
Well, you praised him quite a bit.
I said he had a good start of the year, and then he dropped off dramatically.
Well, he is pretty young. So.
He is very young.
The thing is, it's a massive win at the Stamford Bridge, right? Like
At the Stamford Bridge.
But it's a massive win at home, and it's what they need if maybe they can start getting some consistency there.
Especially with the poor result against Manchester United, where they were pretty unlucky with some calls there. And to be fair, some of our calls didn't go their way in this one, obviously, like we mentioned. And also, I guess, like the Lampard-Mourinho debate is a good talking point. Do you have anything else to say about that?
About the two of them?
Yeah.
I think Mourinho's still a good manager. I do rate him, but I don't think his club right now is the best. And I think he's a little bit too focused on outside, the media, the mind games kind of thing. Just focus on the field, focus on getting a victory, that kind I don't know. Mourinho needs to take a break, I think.
He did take a break, and then he
needs to take a longer break.
He loves the sport too much.
The thing is, it's
yes.
He just came in during the middle of the season, right?
Let's give him some more time. Give him a summer to fix his club. Get Harry Kane and Son back and see what he can do.
Yeah, and maybe make some signings that will help Spurs defensively. Maybe create chances better. I don't know.
Move on players who don't want to be there, like your Vertonghen's kind of thing. But
also, like Dele Alli needs to
figure out what's happening.
He got dropped for this match
because he was a little angry child after the last game.
He needs, whenever he gets minutes, he needs to step up for Spurs because
100%.
He started out well with Mourinho, but recently he hasn't been looking good at all.
Nope.
I know Mourinho, when he first came, he's like, "Are you Dele Alli or your brother?" or something like that. Yeah.
Should we move on though to another match?
Well, also Kepa's still not in net.
Well, yes, the world record goalkeeper is on the bench, and it's crazy. Yeah,
I mean, it's deserved.
It is 100% deserved. The man's been terrible for him, but to have Willie Caballero starting for Chelsea is scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but we can move on.
I want to move on to a relegation battle.
Okay, cool.
Because Lucas's favorite club, Bournemouth, man, they're struggling.
Why do you want to move on to this match?
That's a big scoreline.
It is a big scoreline, Lucas.
But bigger matches to talk about.
That's a huge scoreline. 3-0 Burnley over Bournemouth.
You only want to talk about this because Bournemouth lost 3-0.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
They're going down.
No, they're not.
And more VAR controversy.
There was VAR, yes.
I mean, that just happens every game, but...
Okay, so yeah.
Just the Prem.
Bournemouth go out and score, but then it gets overturned and a penalty is given to Burnley.
So yes, but the ball gets swung into the Burnley box.
But first, Matej Vitra did score. Yes.
Yes, this is the second goal.
Yeah.
Yes, the ball gets swung into the box. I keep wanting to say Southampton. I don't know why. The Bournemouth striker.
He was saying Villa earlier.
That was before we started the podcast.
Oh, I know.
It doesn't matter. They don't need to know.
The Bournemouth striker seemingly controlled it with his arm. It goes the length of the field, and Burnley score to make it 1-0. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like that's wrong. I got to be honest.
What?
I feel like it was the other way around, where it was actually Burnley. No, it wasn't. It was
I
don't know.
Bournemouth was the ones who scored.
Yeah, Bournemouth scored, not Burnley.
Oh, Burnley eventually scored
off a penalty. I butchered that. I butchered that so bad.
The point is, Burnley got a penalty after Bournemouth scored.
Yes,
they went down the field and scored, and it got overturned, and it came back to be a penalty for Burnley.
No, I think that penalty call is harsh.
It's a handball.
What I don't like about it is the fact how long they took to bring it back. I understand you have to wait till play, but like if it is actually gonna be a penalty, I think they just need to take it back right away.
Thing is, there's been so many debates about what's a handball really, because like I've seen some places say that if it hits the sleeve, the short sleeve, it's not a penalty, but then
if it's
right there in the game, it hit the sleeve. I don't think he had intention moving his arm out.
His arm was out a little, but
I don't think the intention was there. His momentum was towards the outside of the pitch, and
it's a tough one to say. I think it is a penalty.
Yeah, I think.
I just didn't like how Bournemouth scored and then they brought it back.
Yeah,
like it just makes it so
controversial.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
are you worried for Bournemouth?
Worried? Why would I be worried?
Because they're crap, Lucas. I mean, why are you worried? They're 2 spots above relegation.
Yeah, but there's also several crappier teams.
Debatable. They haven't been good this year, Bournemouth.
Yeah, neither has Villa, West Ham, Watford, or Norwich.
100%.
West Ham almost should beat you.
Yeah, but
give David Moyes some credit.
Yeah, but you play well against a team that is very hard to beat, but when you play against a team you need to beat, you don't win. How's that good?
That's the David Moyes way, okay?
Come on, Steve Bruce. What are you talking about?
Good game, Bruce. No, but I think if you're at Bournemouth, you're a little worried this year.
Oh, of course you're worried. If you're closed down
there, you just said you weren't worried.
You're gonna.
Well, he said he's not worried. He's not a Bournemouth fan.
Yeah, I'm not. If I'm a Bournemouth fan, I'm gonna be like, oh shoot. It's like if you're riding a bike and a car nearly hits you. Of course, you're gonna be worried in that situation.
It's Lucas's analogy.
I mean, I'd try to be worried if I got hit by a car. Are you the car, or are you getting hit by the car?
Why would I run you over?
I don't know.
Maybe it's Waz.
I don't understand this analogy, so I'm questioning it. But I mean, 15 losses on the season is not a good record.
Considering what Bournemouth were doing last season,
exactly.
Well, they've had some bad injuries throughout this year. Like I think one of their best players still hasn't played a single match this season.
Yeah,
fair enough.
But of course you're worried if you're a Bournemouth fan. Like if you're near that bottom, like you're gonna be worried. Like each game is gonna matter, and it does. And
last season I wasn't worried because I already knew we were going down.
Well, I mean, if you're already like guaranteed relegation,
but I mean, like 2 points, we were guaranteed. 2 point difference between them and relegation. 2 point difference between Bournemouth and relegation.
Yeah, it's very tight stuff.
Watford have been decent since the manager change. Yes, they're still down the bottom, but they did. Yeah.
I mean, that's a team. Are you worried about Watford?
Oh no, because Troy Deeney can save them.
I mean, he tried to save them, but the goal got disallowed.
Not his fault. Okay, let's go on to that one. Let's go on to Watford.
Quickly.
They get a 3-0 loss at Old Trafford, Manchester United.
You have to mention something.
I have to mention something. Waz had one comment for this entire podcast. We asked him, tell us what your thoughts were the week. He goes, Bruno Fernandes is the best midfielder in the Premier League. The man's been here for 2 weeks. There's a man named Kevin De Bruyne. No. No.
Maybe in a few years' time,
Lucas, if he stays there, gets some.
Don't give Waz any false praise.
I mean,
no.
I'm not saying Waz is I'm not saying Waz
has it looked like he's helped out United?
Yes, but Waz actually had a second controversial point about this game particularly.
Oh yeah,
he said Anthony Martial's goal was the goal of the season.
I mean, I thought it was a damn good goal.
It was a very good goal, 100%. But he turns his defender brilliantly. He chips the keeper. Lovely finish.
There's been way better goals. There's been way better goals in my opinion.
Which ones would you say?
I like the long shot bangers. Like there's been bicycle kicks that I think are better. To be honest.
Putting Greg on the spot here.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I can't think of any because
there's been plenty of. Good
That's why I'm asking. I can't remember for some reason, mate.
No, I mean, there has been better finishes, I think. It's a great finish. I'm not going to take any credit away from Martial. It's a great goal, great finish, but there's
still a lot of the season left as well.
When Waz gets excited, he just hypes up United just a little bit.
When United win, he'll go on about United being the best, but then when they lose, they're just...
He comes back to earth.
Scott McTominay did make an appearance. That's good for them.
Yeah, it's good that he's getting some game time back. Yeah,
Mr. Odion did come on. He almost scored
again.
Man, Mr. Igalo's living the best life.
What are your thoughts on Greenwood scoring? Like
Greenwood had a good goal. You know, it's good to see for him. United are going to be happy that they got a goal scorer coming through the ranks.
With Rashford out, it's a good chance for him to try and come in and get some game time and get some goals. And
it was a good finish for him as well.
When he gets it on his left foot, he's deadly. He's
very, very good striker, yeah.
But unlike the last match against Watford, this was more routine.
Yes, very much more routine. They just did the simple work.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's talk about Everton and Arsenal, because that match was actually pretty good.
The most informed striker in the Premier League.
Calvert-Lewin.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yes.
He's not. But he does get a goal.
It was a good finish.
Yeah. Good start for Everton.
Yeah.
But Arsenal looked good.
Yeah. I mean, they looked
which
good
is,
for a
we
while.
haven't said much.
Since Arteta's come in, he's turned this club around dramatically, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely brought more work rate towards a bunch of the players who weren't showing it under Emery.
More work rate, but I think he's also just brought confidence. You know, like two Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe, the front three that are actually getting goals.
And then kind of improve the atmosphere of the club, like make it more enjoyable to play the game.
Someone like Arteta, who's been with that club just for so long, and it's your players want to also play for him.
I mean, he's been in that clubs that won.
Yeah, it's
like I'm not sure if he won a trophy at Rangers, but
he's been beside City for a while now too, and it helps. It honestly helps. City's proven
under Pep, yeah.
And he left at a good time.
He left at a great time. Maybe he knew a thing or two.
I'm out, boys.
I saw a photo from ESPN FC.
Okay.
And it's just him with like a big head and bald.
Okay.
Kind of like Pep Guardiola, but.
There you go.
Do you want me to show you?
No, you just insert a clip.
It's okay, Lucas.
Eddie Nketiah does score the first goal for Arsenal, and then Mr. Aubameyang has a brace. It's good that they're scoring. It's good that Nketiah is getting game time. I do rate him, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
And Mr. Saka's just getting assists everywhere.
Yeah.
According to Waz, most assists in Arsenal history.
Sorry, Terry.
Oh man.
I mean, he is getting a lot of assists recently, which is he got one in the Europa League the past match day.
Arsenal's just showing that goal scoring flair that I think we all thought was going to happen at the beginning of the season. So it's good from them.
No, it's good to see it totally. But
and
Everton,
I think like earlier we were like saying there's no way they can fight for Europe, but they're doing it right now. So.
But we got to give some credit to Everton. I know in the second half
they did fight back.
They were creating some good chances. Calvert-Lewin, he did miss it. Two good chances in my opinion.
Richarlison does score to make it 3-2.
That was a mess of a goal.
It was a bit of a mess of a goal. The 100 million euro man, but Everton did fight back a little bit. They were unlucky at times, like you said. Calvert-Lewin did miss chances he should have scored. But for Arteta, another victory, another 3 points. They keep on climbing that table.
Yeah,
they seemed down and out 2 months ago, and since he's come in, they're sharp and they're challenging for Europe.
After the loss to Chelsea, they haven't lost a game.
Yeah,
unbeaten FC. Some may say.
No, name a single person who said unbeaten FC.
Hugh Wizzy.
Hugh Wizzy can piss off. That's ridiculous.
I mean, they're unbeaten this decade.
So is Liverpool.
No, they're not. They lost to Atletico Madrid.
That doesn't count. It's in the Prem.
No, it's telling all competitions they're unbeaten. It's facts.
Disgusting.
I think it's a funny thing to talk about.
Are terrible. Is according to Lucas.
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go next, Lucas?
Might as well talk about Liverpool since. Well, I know it's a joke.
I'm telling them just in case.
Okay, Liverpool. They hosted West Ham today, the Monday fixture. Hey, no fighting over here. It starts off very early with Gini Wijnaldum picking up a goal. We love Gini.
Yeah, it was a great cross from Trent.
Really do.
The favorite player of the 90th minute, probably.
There's a good amount of them. You got Joe Linton. You got
Alfonso.
Yeah.
Remember Timothy Weah?
Timothy Weah. Yeah. Friend of the show, Timothy Weah.
There's a lot of players we love.
I mean, we love all players that are not jerks.
No, because I enjoy the shithousery of Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos and Scott Brown, shithousery. But it makes it 1-1 through Issa Diop, and West Ham are back in the game.
Yeah, West Ham definitely had a plan on set pieces in this match. Yes. They were able to get many set pieces throughout the entire match, and they definitely had a few plans up their sleeves.
Lucas was afraid.
I mean, after the first one went in, I got worried after each one.
Well, yes, because it was 2-1 for a while.
Well, that wasn't from a set piece, though.
It wasn't, but it was 2-1 for West Ham for a decent part of the game.
Yeah, that was... I didn't know what happened.
Other than the Atletico game, it's probably the longest you've trailed for a while.
Oh, against Manchester United, we trailed for a while.
That is fair, but that was a while ago.
And against Aston Villa.
That was a while ago as well.
Well, it was still this season.
Ago. That was a while ago.
I mean, we haven't lost in a while in Premier League.
The Wanda.
Yes, it's been a very long time. We all know that.
Yes, we understand you are a good club.
Yeah, but yeah, we were trailing for a long time, and although initially I was worried, I'm like, oh no, we're losing at Anfield. This doesn't happen. But then I'm like, we're Liverpool. Yeah, we're Liverpool. We don't lose at Anfield. We don't lose in general in the Premier League recently.
Yeah.
It says it in the Premier League script.
Is there a Premier League script?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, as we all know, they made the comeback.
Yes, Mo Salah makes it 2-2, and then Sadio Mane makes it 3-2 in the 81st minute. Trent Alexander-Arnold picking up assists on them all.
Yeah, he did.
I think we were all kind of like judging him for the Champions League game.
Midweek, I thought he was a bit rough, but he came back and he had a very good performance.
Yeah, he had a lot of good deliveries in this match.
Yeah.
Some, like a lot of dangerous balls, some just up too far ahead for some players, like they didn't make the right runs. But I was happy to see him bounce back from that match.
Yeah.
And
the wingbacks are crucial for Liverpool.
100%, yeah.
Although there was a few times where Felipe Anderson did get by Alexander-Arnold quite easily.
I mean, Alexander-Arnold's defensively is probably his weakest part of his game. Going forward, he's brilliant, but defensively he's a bit not weak, but
when you're
that's
a defender
the weakest
and
side
your
of his game.
Defensive abilities is your worst.
It's the wing backs. That's how the game works now.
But Robertson, he had a few back heels throughout this match. It was great to see.
We love Andy Robertson.
He's got flicks and tricks, okay?
I mean, but we also had some luck with the Fabianski mistake.
Fabianski did have a horror moment for the Mo Salah goal.
Don't worry, Dean Henderson did something similar this season.
Ball kind of just went through his legs, so
I felt bad.
Yes, because I actually like Fabianski.
He
saved
us.
Did you really feel bad when it went in though?
Well, yes, because as a Polish man, I respect Łukasz Fabianski, and I'm like, oh, why did it have to happen to him?
Because we're
Liverpool could have just
the
lost.
Polish brethren here.
Liverpool could have just lost if he did save that.
I mean, we would have still scored. Come on.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
We're the mentality monsters.
Lucas, what's stronger, your love for Liverpool or your love for Poland?
I don't know. probably Poland because I speak Polish to my parents. So
you can't speak Liverpool. You just go up there and have a Scouse accent all of a sudden. No.
Steven Gerrard.
That was disgusting. Mane did score another one. It was ruled offside by VAR.
Yeah.
Liverpool win 3-2. Liverpool win. That's just how it is.
I mean,
you're on 79 points.
They're getting close.
We just need 4 more wins to win the title.
You're almost there, Lucas.
We're going to win the league.
I saw.
There, he said it.
Wow.
He said it.
Wow.
Undefeated?
Well, I'm just saying what the cop said.
I mean, you're gonna win the league. Yeah, but undefeated's the next thing there. That's definitely the next goal for this.
I mean,
but if they win, now that's the thing though. If they win the title, if they have the title secured, do they just focus on Champions League then?
No, because that's what Juventus always do, and they never win the Champions League.
But I mean, I think what Greg's saying is
not like
you don't just give up on the domestically, but you can have the okay. If we need to rest 2 or 3 people in a game, it doesn't matter because the game could be lost, kind of thing.
Well, but what if you want to go for undefeated season?
Well, that's the thing.
Do you want to do that?
Because Liverpool
doesn't technically do anything.
Well, Liverpool have the mentality this season to win every match, and that's
yeah. But I think a Liverpool B team, you bring in your rotation players. I think it's still a very strong team that can beat half the teams in the Premier League.
We've seen it.
I don't think it's good to rest an entire team.
No, but
because
if Sadio wants a Saturday off, you give Sadio the Saturday off.
He might not want a Saturday off.
Saturdays are for the boys. He's gonna have party and drinking. Okay, then he come back on the Wednesday and beat Atletico.
I say if it's like if there's like a Wednesday, then a Saturday, then another Wednesday match, then yeah, you can rest one of those matches because you don't need to risk a potential injury with that many matches played.
Definitely.
But I think we've spoken enough about Liverpool.
I saw a stat about Liverpool, but I can't find it. Okay, I found it. There we go. I have found it. The 1998-1999 Manchester United treble-winning team, rated as one of the best Premier League teams. 79 points. You got 79 points.
Different errors made.
Yes.
Different money made.
The 03-04 Arsenal Invincibles had 26 wins. You have 26 wins with 11 matches in hand. Man City and their 72 in the 17-18 season.
But the season's not over,
Liam's not done this time.
The 17-18 season when Man City won over 100 points. At this stage of the season, they had 72. They have 79.
Yep, we're pretty good.
Yes, I know he's pretty good. I'm just trying to put in perspective how good this club is, how good this team is compared to some of the Premier League greats, kind of thing.
I mean, it's
going to go down as one of the best teams in Premier League history.
100%.
I know, like, you could debate, like, make a combined 11 of certain teams. Like I know I saw one on True Geordie's kickoff show where they made a combined 11 of the 99 treble-winning United side and this Liverpool side. And, like, it's completely different times. Like, they use different formations, different play styles.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not trying to say it's the same but...
And you're going to have different biases depending on, like, when you... Like, because I feel like the earlier you watch the sport, the more biased you are towards that moment compared to later on.
Are we used to, right?
I mean, we were like 2 or 3 years old back then.
Yeah, in the treble, 100%.
Yeah. Like, we're probably going to be more biased towards this Liverpool side compared to some other great side a decade later.
Yeah.
Well, Waz is still going to...
Unless if it's Manchester United, then Waz is going to be...
Waz is going to think that Van Persie goal is just the best goal in the world. It's kind of history.
No, he's going to say that Martial goal is the best goal of the 20s.
This man. Let's talk about the game at the top of the table, though. Manchester City and Leicester. It does end 1-0 for City. It was a bit of a snooze fest, I gotta be honest.
I mean, there was a good Vardy chance early on.
Jamie Vardy hit the post.
I'll admit I didn't watch this entire match.
I tried to. I genuinely tried to, but I was just like, you know what? I'm just getting bored here.
I mean, there was some drama, though.
There was, but I don't know.
I mean, the penalty given for Manchester City.
City missing
I gotta be honest, when that penalty was given, I said, this isn't going in. It's not being scored. And it wasn't. Aguero right at Schmeichel, and I'm telling you,
right down the middle,
saved
with his knee.
Ederson needs to start taking penalties for City.
That'll just be funny.
It'd be so funny. I'd love it though.
He would probably score.
For Leicester though,
except if he doesn't score and they save it, and we're in that situation, Schmeichel just boots it down.
I mean, he's one of the keepers I'd feel like would be capable of doing that.
He's great at his kickouts. Yeah. For Leicester, yet again they lose against top opposition.
Yeah,
it's been their Achilles heel this season.
I mean, if that's your Achilles heel, then that's fine, really, because they're still third place.
Yeah, yes, but...
And they have a fairly young team, which...
Yeah.
They're very happy where they are. They're very happy with their season. But
third place is fantastic.
They've lost games against big opposition, and I think that could be maybe mindset, do you think?
No, I think they are losing to teams that are better than them, but... Manchester City is a better team than Leicester City. No matter how they have been playing this season, they're still the second best team in the Premier League this season. Agree. And on paper, they should be the best team in the Premier League. But
I agree with that. Yeah.
But for Leicester, like obviously they haven't had the best results. I know they drew Chelsea earlier.
It's been a little down for them recently.
I'd say since the new year, they've been on a bit of a downturn.
Of course, it's hard to please so consistent.
Well, I don't think Leicester expected to be in the top 3 this season. No, they would have been happy with like a 4th or even like a 5th or 6th even. But where they are is great, and to keep that form is not necessarily possible for the entire season. But
they were in the title race.
They were. They got enough of a lead over Chelsea, over Spurs, over United that they probably won't slip out of the top 4. So they'll be happy there.
The thing is, I know their schedule towards the end of the season is kind of challenging, but. Realistically, they haven't been performing well in big games. Like obviously, they even like against Wolves, weren't really. I thought Wolves were better in that match. And another thing is that, like, another thing to add to your point, like a big match, semifinal of a domestic cup, and they blew it
against Villa. Yeah.
So you do have some valid points, Liam.
It's all between the years. Mentality.
But
Brendan Rodgers.
In a lot of any more Brendan Rodgers slander?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay for now.
I don't think they've played entirely badly against every top team.
What do you?
Nothing.
Okay.
Okay, but
for City.
Yeah, good goal by
win.
Jesus.
Yeah, Gabriel Jesus scores yet again.
I mean, this is what they have to do. They just have to keep playing well, even with the ban that is there. That could be distracting, but they need to be playing well in the league so that momentum continues into the Champions League and other domestic competitions.
We're going to talk about Champions League later on after the domestic leagues. We'll get on to the Manchester City versus Real Madrid. That's probably the most tasty affair of this week's Champions League.
Definitely.
I'm ready.
Oh, you want to
Zidane smack around Pep a few times.
You want to breeze through the rest of the...
Breeze through it, Lucas.
Okay, so Crystal Palace, a great goal by Van Aanholt. I messed up that pronunciation.
Patrick
sorry.
Van Aanholt.
Yeah, it was a great goal.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And
Palace should have probably got a victory there, but,
big game Bruce doesn't exist in these type of matches.
Did you say Palace should have got a win?
Yes, but they did get a win. I'm sorry. I meant to say Newcastle should have got a win because Newcastle had chances.
Well, you could say they have chances, but did they control the play well?
No, but Newcastle doesn't do that.
I mean, they did.
They just steal results.
They actually had more possession than Crystal Palace,
There
which
you go.
they usually don't.
Means they control
Benteke with the worst header in the history of the Premier League.
I mean, when Newcastle has more possession, they do bad, but when they have less possession, they do good.
That's what I meant to say was.
That was United.
Newcastle had chances, and they're usually the team that steals a victory, on the road kind of thing. But yeah, big game Bruce did not happen.
All goal scoring problems, obviously.
Yeah,
we don't need to get.
Joe Linton, Lucas.
We don't need to get into it right now. If they get relegated, we get into that discussion in depth.
They're not going to get relegated. They're okay.
Championship.
We already talked about Burnley. Sheffield United drew Brighton. A little disappointing result for Sheffield United.
Chris Wilder will be upset.
It was a great goal by Sheffield United, right, Greg?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for your analysis.
Yes.
Fleck. I know you're a big fan of Mr. Fleck.
He almost scored.
He did. I like it.
It was almost a very tasty goal.
Tasty. I like that. So they signed Sander Berg in January, and I like
or
Sander
Berg.
Berg. I'm calling him Berg. I'm not going to call him Berga.
Berg.
Sander Berg.
Sounds
they
like
signed him. Oh my god. But that means that John Lundstrom is not in the starting 11. I thought Lundstrom was being fantastic the first half of the year. I rate Sander Berg, but you got to give. I don't know. You should give the momentum to your players that are doing well. That's the way I look at it. But
he's played a lot of minutes.
To question Mr. Wilder.
Yeah, the man plays a lot of minutes this season. Maybe he's
sleepy.
low on fitness.
He was sleepy.
Maybe he needed a nap on the bench. But it's a decent result for Brighton away from home.
Totally,
they need these points.
Yeah.
Every point matters at this point in the season.
And
every
15th.
point always matters,
but for Aston Villa, they needed those points, at least a point, but they did not get it.
Nope. I rate Southampton. They got messed up 9-0 and they came back so much stronger.
Yeah,
I give you credit because you were the only one that thought they could come back from that.
Of course.
We all thought the Southampton would just crash and burn into a relegation tire fire.
The manager
then Danny Ings said, "I'm coming in."
Hasselhoff's been great this year. Yes, Danny Ings has rescued them.
You don't just have a manager like that who finished second in the Bundesliga one season and then just have him give up on everything after a 9-0 result.
I completely agree.
He's a man with a great mentality who can overcome anything. And
you see in a lot of different sports, like stuff like that happen. When things like that happen, you get blown out. You come back strong.
100%. It just opened scoring through Shane Long. The man is scoring. He didn't really know where the ball was. Just kind of hit him and went in. But they all count.
Yep.
And Mr. Stuart Armstrong at the very end. Pepe Reina was not in his net. He's up there for the corner, and Armstrong had the entire half to himself.
He wasn't in the net. Well, where was he?
The thing is, in the Liverpool West Ham game, when they had the set piece in a corner late on, Fabianski wanted to go up. Moyes like, no.
No, boring, David.
Probably wanted to save the goal difference.
Send him.
But what if they scored?
He didn't have the confidence, obviously.
That's why we sing this song.
Like Wolves
for Stuart Armstrong. Okay, continue.
Yeah, Wolves won 3-0.
Good for Wolves.
I mean, they should win this match, and
it's against Norwich.
They're doing themselves some good favors and are competing for those Champions League places.
Diego Jota with 2 goals and Raul Jimenez with a goal. Those are two strikers who've been in fantastic form this year.
Yes.
Jimenez has got 12, and Mr. Jota's got 5.
Good.
Do better, Jota.
I mean, he was injured for a while.
He was. Just do better.
Honestly, do better. He's scoring goals.
Do better.
What is he supposed to do? Score 5?
Score more goals. I think Mr. Jimenez, he's 28 years old, Raul Jimenez. I think he could be ready for potential step up.
As Europa League champions into Champions League.
He's not going to be Europa League champion. You think Wolves are going to win Europa League this year?
Did you see them? They're pretty good.
They're going to play Celtic and lose. But
if we get through, you never know. It's the Celtic you're talking about. We blow things.
We'll get to that a little later, too.
Yeah, so overall, anything you want to mention on the Premier League table before we move on to another league?
One thing that we were talking about is how exciting would it be if the Champions League next year was Liverpool, Sheffield, Wolves, and
United.
Leicester. Sheffield United, sorry.
Yes, Wolves and who else?
Leicester and Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Well, yeah, that'd be wild.
I mean,
this is like, where's Arsenal? Where's Spurs? Where's Chelsea? Where's Manchester City?
That'd be.
Where's Manchester United?
Yeah.
That'd be. I don't know what to say really if that ever happened.
I hope Sheffield get at least Europa League.
Yeah.
They deserve it at this point.
United.
Sheffield wins your non-competition to get bloody Europa League, Lucas. If both Sheffields are in the Premier League, I will 100% specify, but they're not. So I'm not saying which Sheffield.
Are Wednesday close to promotion?
If you are watching this on audio or YouTube or anything and you are somehow confused with which Sheffield I mean, check yourself. Get help.
It's not the confusing thing. It's just that's what they actually call the team.
I don't call them that. I'm not from there. I'm not a fan. No respect.
Okay, Mr. Drogba.
I love Drogba. Man, he's good. Let's move on to Germany. I'm not doing it no more.
I'm not doing
it. Fabian calling out. Fabian has taken all of my happiness and confidence. You have crushed me, Fabian.
Unless he did it right, and then I still didn't enjoy it, honestly.
Let's start,
It wasn't a good effort.
No.
Let's start with Bayern Munich because they had a scary afternoon.
I mean, yeah, it was. This match was on Friday, so it's many days ago now.
It was many days ago.
It's old news. By the time this comes out, they're going to be playing Chelsea. But
it's still good to be talking about it.
Yeah, it was a tight match. Surprisingly, they score early. You expect Bayern to have a demolition. But
yeah, Serge Gnabry, 25 minutes, he scores. But Paderborn come back. It is 2-2 for a majority of the match. And
it's not.
They scored in the 75th minute to make it 2-2.
So it's not 2-2 for the majority of the match?
It was 1-1 for a solid point, and then it was 2-1 for 5 minutes. So I'm going to say it was a tight game for a majority of the match.
Yeah, I like that.
Robert Lewandowski eventually does win it, though, in the 88th minute. He comes up clutch. When the time comes, Bayern Munich get the win.
I mean, this is a match they should be winning.
Yes, it is, because Paderborn are crap.
But this seems to happen a lot to Paderborn.
Exactly.
Where they're in a good position, and then they blow it late.
The big teams, they seem to have decent results against. Well, close results.
Yes. Another thing I want to mention about Bayern, I guess, when you expect them to be dominating while in the first half, it somewhat underwhelmed in the second.
I mean, they had 71% possession.
Yes, but you can have possession, but you need to, like we say, many
Barcelona.
9 shots on net.
It's like a cliche in the sport. You can have possession, but what do you do with it?
Positive possession. Yeah.
We like saying that.
It's truthful though. You can't just pass it around your back four for 2 hours. You got to actually do something with it.
Can't make 800 passes.
Yeah. Fuck off, Barcelona. Let's go on to Borussia Dortmund. They get a 2-0 victory over Werder Bremen. Goals from Zagadou and Erling Haaland.
Yeah, this match wasn't
I'm going to get myself a Haaland jersey, I'm telling you.
You're a big fan?
I'm a big fan. Not Dortmund, though. I'm thinking a Norwegian kit. Because that'd be great.
What if Norway knocked you out of the Euros?
That's okay, though. Because I'd be okay to go out to Haaland. I probably wouldn't.
You'd probably be pissed.
I'd be very upset.
Just a 90th minute winner, top corner.
If Haaland has a...
Waz just going to be screaming.
if Haaland has a stellar night, knocks out, I go... Okay.
What if he scores?
Better than us.
What if he scores hand of God goal?
Well, then I'll be pissed off. But I'll feel bad.
What if he pulls an Henry?
No, I'm not. I don't want to.
I don't know if VAR's in the.
No, I don't think it is, but that's why it would be funny.
they better have it for those matches though.
Dortmund, though, they do score both their goals in the second half. So you know what? Not the greatest of performances against a struggling Werder Bremen.
I think it was a solid performance. I think they weren't under threat a lot for the most.
They had a really tough midweek match.
They did.
This is a definition of a trap match, especially since they lost to Werder Bremen a few weeks ago in DFB Pokal. Yeah. So I think you have to give a lot of praise for Dortmund in this match.
They did good.
Obviously,
they got a big result when the points matter a lot right now in the title race.
Now, one thing I want to mention, so a local, I don't know if it's paper or news network in Germany or in Dortmund, Ruhr Nachrichten, I don't know.
Insert the name.
Sure. But they said that, this is translated, but it says Jadon Sancho feels very comfortable at Dortmund and shows no signs of wanting to change the club at the moment. Besides, there is, as of now, no official request for the 19-year-old. It is by no means a foregone conclusion that Borussia Dortmund is a closed chapter for Sancho this summer.
Well, here's how I'm going to respond to that. It all depends on how Dortmund do in Champions League and if they're able to challenge for Bundesliga. I don't think they're going to win Bundesliga. I don't think. But you know what? They're in the title race. If they can get past PSG and go for a bit of a run in the Champions League, why does he have to move?
Yeah.
Dortmund's a good club. They got Håland. Maybe he's going, hey, we have a good thing going here. Why should I leave right now?
Yeah, you're with one of the, him and Håland are two of the most talented players.
Other than potentially money. Because probably Chelsea can offer you a bigger contract and so that.
And also it's closer to home.
Yeah.
You're small. You hop on a plane, you're there for 2 hours.
Yeah, and also you left England in the first place already. Yeah. And I think
we don't know what's going through his mind.
Of course not, but he's definitely a guy that has a good mentality. I know that was questioned earlier in the season for some reason, probably because Dortmund were struggling at some point. But I think if you look at it from some perspective, a sporting perspective, you look at you have this Håland kid who is literally giving you free assists right now. But you're playing with some very talented players around. If Dortmund improve this summer defensively, maybe this team could continue to challenge in the Bundesliga and Champions League.
Yeah. I don't think Chelsea get past Bayern Munich in the Champions League. I don't think they do. Man City.
We already did our predictions.
Man City against Real Madrid is 50-50, honestly. I think that's up in the air. Spurs, I think, are going to be going out to Leipzig. And Liverpool, technically on paper, are still behind the 8 ball for Atletico Madrid. I think you'll get past them. But
how do we get on Champions League?
Well, I'm just saying, but all of the English teams, are struggling this year in the Champions League a little bit. So
I'd say most English teams are struggling in general this year, and which is why you don't have to make that risk to go to an English club yet. Plus, I don't think Liverpool will be able to afford him anyways, and also with if you move to England, unlike in Dortmund, you'll be under a microscope in England. If you have 2 bad games in a row, the media will have your head.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, he's 19. You can make this big money move at 22 and still be a very young player with lots of time to go, kind of thing.
Yeah, and he's still making a good wage at Dortmund. It's actually incredible.
Jaden, I know you're watching and listening. Stay at Borussia Dortmund.
It's fun.
You got Håland. The two of you are just gonna fuck up Europe.
He should stay though.
Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go to Dortmund and just have a meeting with him.
But sometimes it's not.
Sit him down and listen to him.
All right, turn it off. Let's go.
You're staying.
Sometimes it's not all about sporting, but hopefully, he's still early in his career. He has,
like we said, we don't know what's through his mind. So
you have lots of time to maximize the amount of money you can make in your career.
Second place in the Bundesliga is RB Leipzig.
Yes, they completely destroyed Schalke.
Yes, 5-0 over Schalke.
What the hell happened?
Schalke are not great.
I saw them score early. Sabitzer scores a pretty good goal. Goalkeeper should be doing a bit better, I would say, but still decent technique.
A minute in, it was 1-0.
It was for a decent strike, though.
Werner does pick up the second. Hassenberg, Tassende, and Emil Forsberg.
Tassende? Who's Tassende?
Jose Tassende? What's his name?
He's a player.
That's what I've got here.
Can you show me?
What do you have written there?
Wow.
Did he score the 4th goal?
It's Angelino.
Why do you say Tassende?
That's what's on here.
Can you not do some basic research?
Jose Tassende. Do you not read that? Do you think I watched this game?
I'd hope you'd question who the hell Jose Tasande
is.
is.
Jose Tasande is.
Well, now you know. It's
Angelino's Jose Tasande.
Why is the app like that?
I don't know, man. I don't run this thing.
Why not?
I don't know. But 5-0. There's not much to talk about here.
I mean,
Leipzig still
good.
dominating.
Schalke crap.
Yeah, Leipzig had a brief down earlier in the second half of the season. But
looks like they're picking it up again.
I mean, good result against Bayern, good result against Spurs recently, 5-0 victory against Schalke.
It's not a bad week.
I do like Leipzig.
Yeah, and other results, Bayer Leverkusen, they're keeping up with the top 4. They're actually not that far off.
Gladbach are falling off.
I mean, they still have a game in hand, so.
Yeah, but still, 1-1 against Hoffenheim is not great.
Hoffenheim are not the easiest team to play.
No, but they should.
You want to be doing better.
And it was a last-minute goal too. So,
yes.
You can't be, well, that's what really hurts is
stopping
points, last-minute goals.
Not the first time this season.
Yeah, exactly.
FC Cologne, they did get a 5-0 victory over Hertha Berlin.
Where did 2 come from?
I don't know. I can't read, okay? Numbers don't do me.
I feel bad for Piontek.
Piontek's not good, Luke.
Hey, man. You wouldn't, if you were professional playing for a club, and then every time you play, every 6 months, there's a new manager at the club, do you expect to be a consistent goal scorer?
I mean, you guys thought
it's
he was going to
him. There's all the manager scoring goals.
Yeah, but the managers has this different systems, different philosophies that is constantly changing.
A good striker can.
Here's the philosophy of any manager that should be at Hertha Berlin. Let's not lose. That's your philosophy.
Well, Klinsmann obviously didn't have that.
Klinsmann is Jurgen Klinsmann.
He left.
Yes, he's out of there. He should never have been there.
What a fraud. I don't know if he's a fraud. I don't know.
I don't think he's that good. Dedrick Boyata's there.
Can't just call anyone frauds anymore.
I'm just happy Dedrick Boyata's losing.
Pep Guardiola fraudiola. Even called himself that once.
I don't rate Pep. I'll call Pep fraudiola.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he called Camara a fraud once.
Me?
No, him.
I don't know if I said
Let's
fraud,
move on from the Bundesliga. We normally at this point go to Italy.
I mean,
Italy's closed.
Not close for business, but
the coronavirus has made its way to Italy, and they said, "Hey, we're going to postpone a bunch of games." So
everything was fine on Saturday, but then Sunday only a few matches were.
Sorry, Inter Milan, you don't get to play. Atalanta, nope, not you either. But Lazio, some of them, Lazio, Lucas, they get a 3-2 victory over Genoa. That's big for them.
Yes, especially with Juventus winning on Saturday, they keep up with them. And
Juventus did win 2-1 over Spal.
Lazio are winning the matches they need to win because I know their schedule gets tough soon.
Cristiano Ronaldo scored, but so did Aaron Ramsey.
Oh,
wow!
What do you have to say, Mr. Aaron Ramsey hater?
Pie to the face.
Sometimes, what's it say? Even a blind squirrel sometimes finds a nut, Lucas. There you go.
Okay.
Or even Benteke scores a goal.
Yeah, exactly. 2 goals in 14 games.
Maybe
Piontek
will score.
No, that's Ramsey.
Oh, I mean, to be fair,
Benteke's worse than that.
I mean, he did go on a goal drop for a while, unfortunately for him. But
then he just tries a bicycle kick and just destroys.
But yes, Lazio, they get big points there as they are only 1 point behind Juventus.
And also, there's some controversy in the Fiorentina-Milan match.
Oh, of course there was.
Rebic actually has been scoring a lot of goals for AC Milan recently.
He's been all right.
But
Zlatan had a goal disallowed.
Yeah, which was controversial to that.
Controversy.
What is it not?
I mean, there's always controversy with VAR, I guess.
What happened?
Yes.
Lucas? Tell me what happened.
Well, there's a penalty given to Fiorentina late in the match.
Okay.
And it kind of looks like Romagnoli gets the ball, but they gave a penalty, and they don't check VAR. Even though earlier when I think it was Dalbert for Fiorentina, he got a foul, and he was initially given a yellow, then the ref checked VAR and gave a red. So why wouldn't you check VAR for this penalty?
It's too inconsistent, as we've always
There's a
talked
lot of
about.
issues with VAR, and I think that'll continue.
I think it's needed
seasons.
in the game, but there's...
Yeah.
And I understand you can't just check it nonstop over and over and over and over and over again.
It just slows it down too much, yeah. But that does end 1-1 Fiorentina AC Milan.
Yeah, so
other interesting results. Napoli get 2-1 victory over Brescia.
Big one before their Champions League.
That's not bad. And then Roma 4-0 over Lecce.
Big match.
That's all the matches.
Today.
Other
That's
than
all the matches?
Bologna, Udinese.
I'm not talking about Bologna Udinese. I'm sorry.
But there are, I know Inter, their Europa League match on Thursday is going to be behind closed doors. And there's lots of talks about matches in these certain regions in Italy that will be played behind closed doors potentially. So
It's a shame.
to everyone in those regions and in Italy, hopefully things get better and hopefully.
The 90th minute wishes you well.
And also in other parts of the world too that have been suffering from this terrible disease. Hopefully it doesn't spread too much, and hopefully you guys can stay healthy and wash your hands.
Wash your hands, Greg. Spain. We're going to Spain.
Real Madrid lost.
Yay! We have something to talk about.
Well, I think we all predicted Real Madrid
To win the Liga.
Yeah.
And now it's in question. They lose 1-0 to Levante. A goal coming from Jose Luis Morales.
He's fast on FIFA, I think.
He's got pace for days. But, Real Madrid, yes, they lose, but they also lose Eden Hazard.
Yeah.
For quite possibly the rest of the year.
Yeah, I heard Zidane saying it was a bad injury.
He got like a hairline fracture in his ankle. So it's not good for Eden.
It doesn't sound bad, but
It
I don't know.
doesn't sound bad?
Well, I don't.
A fracture in your ankle.
No. What I mean is that the name of that injury, a hairline fracture, like a small fracture doesn't sound the worst thing in the world, but realistically, it's not great.
He's now been
Anything
injured.
in the ankle is not good.
He's now been injured more for Real Madrid than he did for his entire career at Chelsea.
Can you fact check that? No, we don't have time.
It is a fact, though. I read that on an official soccer Twitter account.
I know Ramos was complaining about the referee.
Ramos is again. I said I rate his shit housey, but also he pisses me off.
I mean, to be fair, if your name is Hernandez, you might have some questions.
It's the referee name Hernandez.
I think so.
That's fantastic.
That's
absolutely brilliant if that's the case. But not only did Real Madrid lose Eden Hazard here, they also have lost Rodrigo. He got sent off for Real Madrid Castilla, their B team. That means he misses El Clasico.
Yep.
Who's going to play forward for them? What are you laughing at?
It is actually
Hernandez.
Alejandro Hernandez.
You love to see it.
It's a great name. If you're named Hernandez, we love you.
Actually, it's Alejandro Jose Hernandez.
There you go. But yes, Rodrigo is out for Real Madrid. Eden Hazard's out for Real Madrid. The big talking point, though, is just it's now Barcelona, top of La Liga, 55 points. They did get a big victory, 5-0 over Eibar. Lionel Messi can score goals.
Legendary performance, you could say.
4 goals.
I mean, that's pretty damn good, man.
And what happened, Liam?
Well, in the 72nd minute, the true Barcelona legend came on the field. Martin Braithwaite. Give him mass props. Tony Pulis once said he's not a footballer. But Tony Pulis also said that about Serge Gnabry, and he's been wrong. So, he assists Mr. Lionel Messi, and there's been a lot of people online hating on Braithwaite, saying he doesn't deserve to be there. Martin Braithwaite has had a positive influence on Lionel Messi's career. Have you? No. Shut up.
Funny thing about this...
Am I wrong?
I mean, funny thing about Messi scoring, really, not the Braithwaite stuff, but people talked about, is he falling apart? Or last
episode we had a question: is Lionel Messi falling off? No, he's okay.
But like I said, like maybe his recent goal contributions hasn't been there. Maybe he's
becoming more of a play. Well, more of a. He already is a playmaker, but
maybe he's. I don't know. I don't know if I said it necessarily, but a lot of people were saying like, maybe his finishing touch is going away.
Yeah.
And then he scores 4 goals.
I mean, it is Eibar. Let's not get.
I mean, 4 goals anywhere is impressive.
Yes, 100%. But let's not get.
If you score 4 goals against children, you'd probably be loving life.
Against who?
Children.
Against children. Okay.
You probably celebrate super hard.
I don't think so.
I mean, you scored 4 goals against. We won't talk about that time.
Okay. Other big results in La Liga. Atletico Madrid scored goals.
Yeah, they actually played pretty good.
3-1 over Villarreal.
I casually watched this match.
See who scored for Villarreal? Paco Alcacer.
His goal was actually...
He's there now.
It was a really good goal.
It's a big step down for him.
I mean, it was a great strike for him. And Joao Felix scored.
Joao Felix did score. Good for him.
Get on the score sheet.
Sevilla.
Get some game time back.
Sevilla wrecked.
Some consistency.
Sevilla wrecked Getafe.
Yeah.
What?
He's. Can you let him speak for once?
Sorry.
I'm praising Joao Felix.
Okay.
Because he's a big time player that's getting some more game time after his injury. He's coming back.
Okay.
It's good to see.
I know you don't like listening to us, and we don't like listening to
I'm
you.
just trying to move the conversation along. It's an interesting point. Sevilla got a huge victory over Getafe.
But so was Joao Felix scoring? Greg wanted to talk about
Joao
that.
Felix should be scoring. The man's worth 170 million euros.
So he just came back from injury.
Yeah, he should be at that price point. You should be scoring from the hospital bed, like pop up with a header and get back in, kind of thing. Like, I don't know. What? Sevilla.
I thought I said some weird stuff.
Sevilla.
You do say weird stuff. You just said Liam. Never mind.
Sevilla.
Move on.
3-0 over Getafe. They therefore leapfrog them into the Champions League place.
But Getafe beat Ajax.
Yes.
I think that's more impressive.
But they're not in the Champions League spot.
So? They beat
Ajax have fallen
Ajax.
apart.
Maybe they can win Europa League.
We're talking about that later, Lucas. Why'd you bring that up now?
Because, well, you're going to probably talk crap about Getafe, this and that. So I thought, bring them up.
I'm going to praise Sevilla because that's a huge result for them.
I agree.
Good for them. This is
So if you're
falling
saying
apart.
that, then why are you so... Never mind.
This is falling apart.
Goodness.
Other big results. I don't know. Bilbao lost against Alaves. Is that a big result?
Was it at home?
I mean,
It was in Alaves.
Liam, any result is a big result
Fair
for
enough.
their team.
I mean,
Real Sociedad 3-0 over Valencia.
that's actually a big result.
It was a big
actually.
result
Wow.
for them.
Yeah.
Adnan Januzaj. Remember him.
Okay. As you can tell with us making many jokes about this, we are not entirely serious right now.
Nabil Fekir, he scored 3-3. They drew Mallorca.
Lucas loves Fakir.
No knees Fekir. Let's go. Where else were we going to go, Lucas?
I mean, PSG almost lost.
Did they?
I mean, they almost drew.
4-3 over Bordeaux. Neymar got sent off.
He maybe wanted to go to Carnival.
Probably.
But no, apparently he's not going to Carnival for once. Because he's not injured.
Cavani, Marquinhos again, and Mr. Mbappe.
Kylian.
Kylian. He's good.
I mean, yes.
He's very good.
One to watch.
He's been one to watch for a while.
But yes.
I think did Celtic win this weekend?
Yes, we did. 3-1 over Kilmarnock.
Did Rangers win?
No, they did
They
not.
lost.
They
They
lost?
drew 2-2.
Oh,
Sorry,
They
yeah.
drew 2-2 with St. Johnston.
I knew they dropped points. I
They
just
did
oh,
drop
okay.
points.
I mean, you knew more than I.
The league is over, boys. The league is over.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Even Virgil said the league's over.
Virgil van Dijk?
Yes, they interviewed him. He says the league is done. It's Celtics.
I mean, what?
Good job, Virgil.
Do you think this is a massive collapse from Rangers?
Oh yeah, like before the Christmas break, they had all this big conversation. Oh, we're coming for you. Don't you worry. We're there. We're gonna take this from you. Since they came back, they've done piss all. They've fallen apart.
Win in Europa League.
Hey, they've done well in Europe, and you know what? I give full credit to that. But when it comes down to the domestic league, they have blown it.
So
Yeah.
are you already bringing out your 9 in a row T-shirts?
Sure, I'll make one up one weekend. I'll wear it.
Will
No,
you
it was,
really?
it was a good game for us. You know, we were behind early on, but we came back.
I mean, red card in the 57th minute must have helped.
I mean, yes, of course, but we were winning by that point.
2-1, but
Yes, big Christoph Ayer and Udson Edward, they got goals.
was it a good performance by Edward?
It was all right. He's a bit quiet. I think Celtic in general was a bit more quiet this game.
Maybe the
No
Coming
Scott
off
Brown.
that
big,
Europa
the
League
big
game.
draw.
No Scott Brown.
The big draw.
Do you want to talk about Europa League or
I mean, since we're talking about Celtic and Rangers, let's just transfer into the Europa League. And then we'll move into the Champions League to finish off. Well, not finish off, but... Yeah.
But yeah, we drew 1-1 against Copenhagen in Copenhagen. On paper, that's a good result, you know, away from home, get a draw. But watching the game, I was disappointed we didn't walk out of there with a 3-0 victory.
Definitely the dominant team in the first half.
First half, we could have had 2 goals within the first 2 minutes kind of thing. Edouard had chances. Yes, they weren't easy to chances, but you know what? I expect him to do better and take those.
So, Greg, from a less biased point of view, obviously you have some bias towards Celtic because you're friends with Liam. But how did you see this game at?
I mean, first half, Celtic were clearly the better team, but second half, Copenhagen came out strong
100%.
and did really good.
They had a penalty. Big Fraser Forster saves it yet again. The man is superb on penalties.
And Edouard had a very good chance at the end. I think it was around the end of the game.
I actually didn't get to watch the last 10 minutes, but
it was a very massive save. So
who impressed you on Copenhagen? I can't say Copenhagen. Why can't I say their name?
The big center forward. What was his name?
Yeah, he was very good.
The guy that scored their goal. I thought he was all right.
It was a good finish.
He was a good finish. Yeah, Ndoye. He's just a big, powerful center forward. But Christopher Julian, our center back, I think he dealt with him pretty decently.
They were going at it pretty good.
There was a good few battles there. They hit heads at one point.
Okay, and what are you expecting for the second leg?
Well, hopefully we come back to Glasgow and get a good victory.
I would think Celtic at home would be able to take that.
Hopefully Scott Brown's back. He went off injured. So hopefully he's back. He's kind of running our midfield right now. But you know what? We were okay without him. You know, we had Tom Rogic come in. He's okay. Tom Rogic 2 years ago was a 10 million pound man. Now he's
slow.
He's lost a flair right now.
I mean, you guys are still unbeaten since Rangers loss.
So all of 2020 we haven't lost.
Now, granted, you play most of your games in Scotland, so.
Oh yes, but unlike Rangers, we're not throwing it away.
Okay, but I guess we should talk about Rangers as well, I guess, in the Europa League, because they did have a good comeback.
They had a huge comeback. That was a huge result for them. At home, they had to get that win. I mean, if they had not won in Glasgow, it could be a very, very difficult trip to Portugal. Now,
Braga have some interesting things about them. I know their manager, I think, since he came in, has been incredible for them. I know Abel Ruiz, I watched him at the U17 World Cup one year. He impressed me as a player. And it's a shame he hasn't really kicked on just yet, but he's still 20.
I know all the Rangers fans are going, Giannis Hagi, big man. It's good. You got 2 goals. Good for you.
I mean, score a brace on your European debut for your club.
It's huge. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but I'm not going to heap praise on him either because it is what it is.
Because you're a Celtic fan.
I mean, he's been scoring some big goals, even if some of them aren't the prettiest.
Fair enough. I mean, the second one was deflected off the wall to get the game-winning goal, but good job, Mr. Hagi. Your dad was better than you.
Well, I mean, his dad's pretty damn good.
I know.
I saw there's a video on Reddit. It was like a tribute to Haji that just had so many upvotes. He had a sledgehammer of a foot.
Yes, he's a big man.
Well, and the thing about this match, though, is I think me and Lucas were talking about it. The pitch was just...
Yeah, Rangers fans, if any of you are watching or haven't clicked off yet, what was with the pitch? Does it usually get that bad towards the end of matches?
And Celtic fans, you can comment now. It's because they have no money. Bankruptcy will do that to you.
Is that like a lot? Do a lot of teams?
I mean, I know Scotland had a terrible week of rain. I know that.
Maybe that's what it was.
Piss poor. So that probably didn't help.
And obviously, not many teams in Scotland have made no teams in Scotland made the type of money you guys have made. So you guys can probably handle that a bit better.
Our turf's actually hybrid. It's half like grass, half plastic.
Why?
It's easier for maintenance.
I guess. But
easier.
I was there when they were installing it, so I know firsthand, Lucas.
Okay, well, do you think Rangers can advance against Braga?
It'll be a tough one. They're definitely within a fighting shot. I hope they do. I hope Scottish teams do well, but I think their game might be a bit closer than the Celtic one. I hope at least.
I think Braga have a pretty nice stadium too.
Yeah,
has like a
nice trips. Yes.
A rock wall or whatever.
That sounds about right, honestly. Yeah.
See, I think this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a small photo. There we go. Do you see this, Greg?
Lucas can insert the clip.
Yes, this.
Yeah, lovely.
It is lovely.
It's a nice view.
Sevilla tied Cluj. That's not good. United tied Bruges. That's not good. Frankfurt beat up Salzburg. I didn't see that coming.
I watched the first 30 minutes of that one.
I didn't see that coming, especially because Frankfurt lost today against Union Berlin.
Not today. Was it today?
It was today. It's a one-day game.
Yeah. Frankfurt, looked really good with the limited time I saw it. So it wasn't entirely surprising. And
hat-trick from Kamada.
Also, do you think Salzburg's still winning the Austrian Bundesliga?
Lucas, I gotta be honest, I have not checked up.
Would you expect them to be in first place?
I would hope so, but they're probably not. They are probably Austria Vienna.
No.
Who?
You look for yourself.
LASK. Okay.
They beat Salzburg recently. They've been on a great run.
There's only a couple points, but okay.
I mean, Salzburg had this massive point gap in the beginning of the season.
They just lost their best player.
Well, a couple of their best players.
Yeah.
So that's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
Big players leave and clubs fall. Look at I.
I think I underestimated the impact.
Austria Vienna. I meant Rapid Vienna. I'm sorry. Austria Vienna is another team, but
I underestimated the impact of Håland and other players.
Yeah.
That departed. So Salzburg have been struggling, and they might actually lose the league title for the first time in like 7-8 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, though, Ajax did get a 2-0 loss against Getafe.
Apparently, there was only like 40 or 50 something minutes of actual time played on the pitch. It was just a typical housery.
Shithousery.
Lucas
Getafe just time wasted, basically. But the second goal for Getafe came through Robert Kennedy. No, not an American presidential person. He's a Brazilian.
Played for Newcastle and Chelsea.
Of course, him and Joe Linton were linking up. What's with
you don't remember Kennedy from last season?
I do. What's with Brazilians just having weird American names like Joe Linton, Robert Kennedy?
I know.
What's happening, Brazil?
I think they can have
Neymar.
They can
Santo Jr.
I think they can register a nickname or something. I don't know how it works completely, but there's a reason why certain Brazilians have just one or reference as one name. Ronaldo. Yes.
Inter Milan get a 2-0 victory over Ludogorets. Shakhtar Donetsk 2-1 over Benfica. That's actually an interesting one. Yeah. Wolves 4-0 over Espanyol.
Leverkusen over Porto.
Arsenal 1-0 over Olympiacos. That goal coming through Alexander Lacazette.
Yeah, unbeaten FC.
Let's go Champions League. I'm not even going to respond to your comment.
Wolves,
I said 4-0.
Roma beat Ghent.
Roma did beat Ghent.
Yeah, but let's move on to the Champions League quickly.
We're excited for the second legs.
Like last week, we will be doing a midweek episode on the Wednesday, right after the second round of matches. So stay tuned for that. It might be uploaded on Thursday, depending on how long it is. But we'll see.
We talked about these matches a bit last week, so we won't go too deep into this.
Tuesday has Chelsea hosting Bayern Munich, and then Napoli hosting Barcelona. Expect a lot of passing in the Napoli-Barcelona game. A lot of passing. And expect Bayern Munich to not murder Chelsea, but give it a damn good try.
It'll be an exciting game, though, I think.
I think both Bayern and Napoli will win by 1 goal.
That's a shout.
Napoli.
That's a shout.
Oh.
Hey, you heard it here first. For some reason, Rangers play Braga.
What about you guys? Who do you think is winning the first leg?
Bayern and
Barcelona.
Do you think it'll be close in either of the matches?
I think the Barca game will actually be close.
2-1 both games.
Okay.
For some reason, Sporting Braga and Rangers are on Wednesday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't know why. Just how it is.
It's probably... Oh, yeah.
Maybe there's domestic league.
Might be multiple Portuguese teams playing, and they can't have that. There's probably... there's 3.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They might have 3 Portuguese teams playing in Portugal at the same time,
Maybe.
which shouldn't happen.
And then also on Wednesday, of course, it is Lyon hosting Juventus and Real Madrid hosting Manchester City.
Can Musa do it?
Can Moussa Dembele beat Ronaldo? Probably not. Because it's not just him. There's other team around him.
Maybe if it's 1v1.
And Lyon's been a bit... And other than Champions League, they're in the round of 16, which is fantastic.
Juventus are definitely favorites for that tie, so I'm not going to spend much time on that one. But, the other game, Madrid City is huge.
It's a 50-50. It's a coin flip, honestly.
That's 2 of the best teams in Europe. Goal scoring versus great defense. It'll be fantastic. No Eden Hazard.
Versus Pep.
So that could be a big talking point. But look, he's staring off to space. Are you okay, Lucas?
I'm thinking.
I'm going to say 3-1 Juventus. 1-1 Madrid City.
That's fair. I like it.
I'm not sure
I'm not going to predict
You
it.
have to, Greg. That's literally the rules.
I didn't predict the last game.
Well, then, you know what? You're kicked off the 90th minute. We already have a replacement in mind.
Oh, okay. Bye.
But I'm not sure what aggregate score I predicted for the Real Madrid Manchester City match last week, but I'm gonna say for this match 1-0 Real Madrid.
Okay. And Juventus Leon?
I mean, I think Juventus will win 2-1.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Leon somehow drew because, Juventus don't do well when their backs aren't against the wall.
Now, just to quickly round up the end of this podcast, we're going to move on to some of the questions from you guys. We're going to start with the Instagram stories questions. Make sure you are following the 90th Minute on Instagram. What does Bayern need to do to shut down Dortmund and their new signings?
Win.
Pretty much. Just keep hitting. Lewandowski has a score.
I mean, I think they just have to continue what they've been doing recently. If they go further on in the Champions League, that could prove to be more difficult and give more opportunities for Dortmund and Leipzig to pounce. But right now,
their defense needs to stay strong against that deadly attack that Dortmund has, honestly. And you need to pounce on Dortmund's weak defense.
I agree with that, yeah.
I'm not referring to their specific match in a few weeks.
Bundesliga in general.
Yeah. And also, I think Bayern, they just need to just not drop off towards the end of matches if they're in winning positions, because that can potentially happen to them.
Will Håland get to at least 3 Ballon d'Ors before he retires?
Jeez.
I mean, he's been around for like 2 weeks, it feels. It's too early to say.
It's so hard to say, but with how he's playing, it's so hard to say, honestly.
No,
I'm going to say no.
It's truly, he very well could go on to have an amazing career, but he could also go on to a very average career.
The thing is, he's got Mbappe and Jadon Sancho just right around him too.
Sterling.
There's so many young players.
I'm still on the Sterling train, Lucas. I'm still on that.
1 week you're on, 1 week you're off.
I know. If he goes to Real Madrid, he may win one.
I think Håland could potentially win a Ballon d'Or.
But 3 is...
We're going to be in a different era of football soon. Like, no Messi, no Ronaldo in
anything can change.
The future.
Yeah.
So, like...
It's hard to predict that so much into the future like that.
And also, it's very difficult for Håland, too, because... Well, maybe he'll be on Champions League winning squads in the future if Dortmund develop or if he gets sold for a lot of money.
Yeah.
But in years where it's the Euros or World Cup, I don't think he has a shot, because I don't think Norway's gonna win a World Cup or Euro championships. Even though this is probably Norway's best team ever.
It makes it harder when you're a smaller nation.
Mm-hmm. That's a 3-part question. If he has to leave, where should Pep go?
That's 3-part question?
That's part 1.
Oh. If he has to leave, where should Pep go? I mean, the obvious answer that the majority of people have been saying is Juventus, which I think is very disrespectful to him. So sorry. I think Pep should take a break. And
it'd be nice to see Pep take a break. I mean, he's been so good.
But you want to see Pep managing.
Part 2 is, should he return to an old club or should he find a new league to dominate?
Well, where do you think he would go? Barca would be interesting, but...
Barca would be interesting. I mean,
it'd be kind of cool for him to... It'd be nice to see him go to a smaller team. Not like a small team, but like...
That's never going to happen.
No,
I know, but like it would be good if it could.
I don't see him going back to Bayern.
No, I don't see that.
Barcelona potentially. I mean, they need someone there who they trust as a manager. I think they like their play style, so why not? I'll say Barca.
Yeah, I just see Juventus or PSG potentially.
PSG, yeah. Part 3 is, the questioner, he asks, personally, I think he should go win in a new league or become an international manager.
I think he can wait to be an international manager.
He's too young for international manager.
I think when he's... How old is Pep?
Probably in his...
Can't be older than 40s.
He's 49.
Yeah.
So he's turning 50 next year.
He's still young. Yeah.
I think when he gets to his mid-50s, it would be a good time to become international manager.
Coach Spain?
I don't know if he's kind of a Catalonia man.
That's okay. Coach Catalonia. Next question. Do you think Buffon and Chiellini will renew their Juve contracts?
Yeah, I could see them renew another year. I know Chiellini is coming off a bad injury, but he still has enough to offer to play at the high levels.
If they win the Champions League,
maybe.
If Buffon wins the Champions League, then he's gonna retire right away.
Yeah.
But I think Buffon will probably stay for a while.
And to do with Italy, who do you think will win Serie A? We've talked about this before. I think Juventus. He says Juventus. He wants to say Atalanta, but he can't. He's gonna say Inter Milan.
I think you say Lazio.
I don't know if I think
I like that it's a close race though.
Yeah.
But I still think Juventus will.
I'm just gonna say I don't think Juventus will win it.
Okay. Is there any other young players that have been under the radar of Håland and Mbappe? Well, Jadon Sancho is one of them.
Well, he's not under the radar.
I mean, he sort of is under the radar. I mean,
no, he's not.
Compared to Mbappe and Håland, the amount of hype they've gotten.
Are you kidding me? You know how
the amount of hype Håland and Mbappe have gone over the past 6 months.
Sancho gets so much hype, man.
Depends where you're looking, I guess. I don't see as much hype about him as I do about Håland.
13 goals, 14 assists.
I know you give him hype. You love the man. You especially have like a cutout of Jadon Sancho back here.
We need like a list of just Lucas's favorite players and just add one to the list.
Ricky Lambert is definitely on there.
I'm not even gonna go with that joke again. But under the radar players, I think
Hudson Edouard.
Sure.
Moussa Dembele.
Okay.
Karamoko Dembele.
He's just naming ex and current Celtic players.
100%. We are the breeding ground of great talent across Europe.
I'm gonna say Canadian Jonathan David. I think he is.
Alfonso.
Alfonso. Yeah.
I know one of our friends said that Jonathan David isn't gonna make it to the very top, which is fair enough. But I think he's a good talent, and I think someone you should watch who makes a move to a Big Five league in the summer. I for some reason can't think of many players right now, but
there's definitely a few of them who are definitely very, very good. I mean,
yeah. There are really good players that are performing well that aren't being talked about, which is why we haven't been talking about them.
Basically, I've got like half these questions about Mbappe and Håland. This one says, who is going to succeed more in their career, Mbappe or Håland? Like trophies, team trophies.
I got Mbappe.
I say Mbappe.
Mbappe already has a World Cup.
Yeah, so he's already winning.
Would Lautaro Martinez help Manchester United?
100%.
Yes, he can score goals.
Yeah.
Will they get him? No. Who should Manchester United sign? Oh, no, sorry. Should Manchester United sign Sergio Aguero after City's ban? I don't see Sergio Aguero hopping across Manchester.
The reverse Tevez.
He and Carlos Tevez, yeah.
No. Imagine they just make a huge billboard sign. Welcome to Manchester, Sergio.
How do you feel about the Keylor Navas and Areola switch? That happened like last year.
I think there was something recently. I just need.
Navas has been playing pretty good, so
I think Navas is all right. I don't rate either of them as like best goalies in the world, but
I mean, the loan deal. Yes. I heard Areola has been pretty poor for Real Madrid.
He hasn't really played that much.
I mean, in the times he has played, it has been disappointing for Real Madrid, and I think there's a lot of positives about Keylor Navas at PSG.
Yeah.
I think he is a very talented goalkeeper.
Out of the two, he's definitely the better one, I think. If Ronaldo keeps performing the way he has, do you think he will win the next Ballon d'Or?
I mean, I think it is a Euro year, so that's going to matter a lot in this case. And also Champions League matters a lot too, right?
Yeah.
So if he doesn't win either the Champions League or Euros, it will have to take
even Serie A at this point. That's up in the air.
It would have to take an incredible season.
Yeah.
And right now, he's not even a top goal scorer in his league.
No, he's having a good season, but not a great season. So
I think he's having a great season. 2020, it's been great. Maybe
yes.
Maybe 2019 late where he wasn't scoring that much. Maybe not so good, but I think 2020 it's been his year so far. Enough. But there's still so much left to be played.
That is the last question from the Instagram. So now we're gonna move on to
because right now you got Virgil, who's got like undefeated season right now, still going in the Champions League. Netherlands can do in the World Cup.
He should definitely.
Euros,
sorry, yeah.
I think not a lot of people are talking about Virgil right now because Liverpool. More people are talking about Henderson than Virgil.
Captain J. Hendo.
I'd vote Jay Hendo for it.
We're going to move on now to TikTok questions. Do you think Mbappe will move to Real Madrid? That has been rumored since day one almost. I think for Real Madrid, it'd be a good move because, well, they're getting Mbappe, but also just for, big players at the big club kind of thing. I think they need that again. I mean, Hazard was definitely a big move, but I don't think Hazard commands media attention like Mbappe would.
Yeah. I think the move will eventually happen. Mbappe's probably going to be the most marketed player in football until Jadon Sancho moves to England.
And Real Madrid just goes for that.
Yeah, 100%. So. Will Kevin De Bruyne break Thierry Henry's assist record?
That's a good question. He's not far off.
5 more in 12 matches. That's what he would need. He needs 5 more assists.
5 more assists in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I don't want it to happen because I'm a big fan of Thierry Henry, but I think
probably could.
I think it will happen.
Yeah. As we all know, Waz's comment earlier is just not even close because Kevin De Bruyne is
brilliant. He's having a brilliant year, and you know what? Arguably, City's strikers haven't been as clinical this year, and he's still producing insane numbers.
And also, if City don't advance in the Champions League that far, then I think he will definitely do it.
Yeah.
Because there's more focus, I think, on it.
And this is for me specifically. As a Celtic supporter, if Celtic were in the Premier League, would they be able to stay in the top 15? Now, this has been a conversation for years. I remember people say, if Celtic and Rangers went to the Premier League, they would get relegated immediately, get dropped down to the Championship, maybe even League One, which I think is bullshit. I gotta be honest.
Just quickly though, that's such a hard thing to say because it's a completely different.
It is, place. But at the same time, Celtic spend not even a tenth of what a Premier League side would be able to spend because just the money in Scotland is nothing compared to the Premier League. So, if you give the Celtic fan base the TV coverage and the media rights and the brand exposure of the Premier League, Celtic will be able to spend millions of pounds on players. And Edouard's a record signing at £9 million. That's a bargain for a Premier League side, right?
Bournemouth have spent $20 million.
Exactly. We just can't afford to do that. So I mean, Celtic and Rangers, if they both went to the Premier League and they both had the money for a couple of years, I think they could challenge for top 10, top 7, let's say, just because of the fan bases. But we've seen clubs like Newcastle who have fan bases and have money, not spend the money or not be smart with it and struggle. So it's hard to say. It depends on managers and ownerships and what other teams around you are like.
And I know a lot of people don't like that question because they don't like the idea of Scottish Premiership without Celtic or Rangers because
it would severely hurt Scottish Premiership, but at the same time it could make it more interesting for those and competitive. Teams. But it would make it more like a pub league, honestly.
But it might as well not be. I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but
it's a hard question.
It's something that will never happen, though. You think.
Probably not. I mean, you saw Swansea and Cardiff come in, but I don't think it's going to make a British league.
And then look at the Welsh league.
Yeah.
I know there's rumors of a Benelux league in the future, which it could be huge money for those top clubs in there, but it also would kill the smaller clubs. So there's so many things you have to consider about that.
That is all a question on TikTok. There weren't many this week, so make sure you are answering or asking your questions on there. Now we're gonna move on to YouTube. There's a few here.
Yeah, you can ask them on YouTube too.
Yes, that is true. Having Rangers lost points and Celtic gain more of the lead, is the race over? And what do you think of the relegation battle in the SPL? Well, the race in my mind is over. I think we are champions again. Ole, ole, ole.
And relegation battle?
Relegation battle. It is what it is. I hope Hearts don't go down. That's not that I like Hearts, but I don't know. I just hope they don't go down because that's a pretty historic club.
Yeah, I remember Liverpool playing Hearts in a Europa League qualifying match in the early 10s. I don't know. I just remember playing
Hearts. Hearts been they're a historic club.
I think it was Hodson's for season 2.
There you go.
So it wasn't a great match.
Who do you think Manchester United should let go of this summer? Michael says, I say Paul Pogba. And who do you think United should sign this summer? He says Thiago from Bayern Munich. Who should they let go? Well, I kind of agree with Paul Pogba.
Oh, yeah. There's so much controversy and just media about it. Just let him just get it out.
Cash him in and, use that money to just buy 3 or 4 good players.
As much as he is your best player right now, it's just...
but he's not able to play.
Yeah.
But the media controversy with him, it's just going to transfer on to another player. Like it has this season when Pogba hasn't been playing. It's just transferred to Lingard, to Martial.
Lingard could use a change too.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. He definitely needs a change in scenery.
The dead weight, yeah.
I think Matic could eventually leave.
Matic is running on.
He's been close to leaving a few times.
Yeah. Mata, even to an extent.
I think they should just get rid of the older players that haven't been able to contribute much because
bring in some younger players.
They're trying their best, but they're just not at it like they were a handful of years ago. And
Phil Jones, I'm sorry, it's time to go.
I mean, he'd be decent, like 18th man.
And signing wise for United,
I don't think Thiago is realistic, unfortunately, for you guys.
I don't think so. The Jack Grealish or Madison conversation keeps going around. Those players wouldn't hurt to have 100%, but I don't think they are your necessities to have.
Yeah, and
I think you need a center forward.
That's definitely going to be one thing Manchester United need. Is Greenwood going to be that guy? Do you trust him already, or
I still so young? Needs another season on the bench.
You think so?
I think so. I think Greenwood's another season coming off the bench.
Imagine if you told that to Mbappe.
Mbappe and Greenwood are putting up very different numbers at this age. I gotta be honest.
I don't know about that.
I don't think Mbappe was putting up numbers.
I know Mbappe was putting up 15 goals in Ligue 1 in his breakout season, but Greenwood's still really young. I read a stat that he scored more goals than RVP did at this age when RVP was at Feyenoord. But then again, everyone's making comparisons with Greenwood and RVP, which is a little ridiculous.
I still don't think United should have got rid of Romelu.
So. No, 100%. No, 100%.
Yeah, another striker shouldn't hurt them. I think.
The question. That's the last of the questions.
No more questions.
That was it.
Okay.
But just one more conversation point I want to say. Galatasaray beat Fenerbahce 3-1. Good for Galatasaray.
Did someone tell that to you?
No, I whenever I see interesting things, I screenshot them, Lucas.
Oh.
I go bring this up in the conversation.
Maybe you should make a TikTok video about one of those two clubs. Why?
No, potentially we'll see.
All right.
Is that it? Anything else?
No, I'm pretty tired.
Yes, it's late, very late.
Yes.
We will be back after the second match day of the Champions League, so stay tuned for that.
Should be out Thursday.
Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Canada time. But
you didn't even say a time.
Mountain time. That work?
Well, you said morning. That's not really a time.
It's a time frame, Lucas. Jesus. But
it'll be out when our podcasts usually come out on Thursday. There you go.
From Greg.
Sorry.
From Lucas. From myself, Liam. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching and listening. Make sure you are subscribed. Hit like, comment down below, follow on social media. Links are in the description.
Again, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers.
And 15,000 on TikTok. We appreciate it.
But especially the 1,000 on YouTube because 100%. We've been on YouTube for 2 years. Almost 2 years, yes.
And it was a very slow process at the beginning.
If you were fans from us back then, you're still watching, we very much appreciate you. To all the new fans, we hope you stay and enjoy.
Enjoy our content. Yeah.
And Wash should be back midweek too.
Hopefully. But
if you enjoy him.
If you don't, I'm sorry.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching and listening. This has been yet another week in a beautiful game. See you next time.
But Haji.
He hit the defender.
He scored 2.
The one that won the game was off of the wall.
So he still scored.
Is my mic on?